Good morning, YouTube. It is Tuesday, October 7th, and I'm going to do a video on a build on my new Cerberus 28.5 millimeter atomizer. Okay, if I get a focus on this, this is the Cerberus 6-post. Give me 1 second, let me do a manual focus on this. Okay, we got a 6-post atomizer here. Alright, now I've already done one coil in here. This atomizer is really a pain in the neck to build. Okay, I thought it wasn't going to be as bad as my IGO W14, but it's actually a little more difficult for the fact that I did another build in here last night, and the coils were vertical coils. Once I stuffed my cotton and everything, it blocked off the air holes, so I lost a lot of my airflow, and then the cotton that was sitting on top, okay, I had to cut them down a lot because I was getting a mouthful of juice every time I hit. So today what I'm doing is I'm going to do a 22 gauge nichrome build, and I'm going to bring my coils down right behind those air holes. Okay, then this way when I feed my cotton, okay, my cotton is going to go straight through and stay just below that coil and not above where the air holes are at. The original build, everything was higher than those air holes, which kind of defeats the purpose of the air holes, bringing in air to cool down that coil. So what I've done already, I've already done one coil in here. Okay, I still got to clean it up and everything, but see how it's shaped. Now what I did use the hole in the center on the center pin last night on a twisted build I was trying, and it chopped my wire right off. So I'm going to go ahead and bind on the top today. Eventually I'll play around with this and get it to, in those holes and see if I get a good medium on them. But this is what we're looking like so far. I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more coils wrapped and get this thing going. So I'm going to go ahead and put a zoom on this. We're going to go down low here. And get a build going. I'll do as much as I can on the camera. It is a little bit difficult, especially on an intricate wrap like this, or intricate build. I am using a 7/64 rod. With an 8 wrap. .22 gauge nichrome. It's a nichrome 60. Okay, so I get my wraps done, like so. Okay. Then what I do here is I'm going to straighten out one of these legs off to the side, which is going to allow me to connect to my negative post. Need to get a good angle on this. So I bring it straight over like this. Okay. Then I get it positioned in there up against my leg, my negative leg there. Get a little marker, and then I'm going to put a nice wrap right around my needle nose pliers, like so, approximately where that screw is going to go. Now this build is going to be kind of difficult to do with the rods, to keep, have the rods hold the coil in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do most of this build, or all of this build, without having the rods in place to hold the shape. Okay, so after I get it placed in there, like so, okay, on the negative leg there, now I'm going to take this leg, I'm going to put a bend on it to where it comes up to the top of my deck, or the negative or the positive post. Put a bend on it like so. So it just sits right over the top of this post here. If I can get a focus on this thing. Okay, see how it's coming over the top of that post, just the screw there. And I got my coil perpendicular. So I'm going to pull this across, and then I'm going to go ahead, gently wrap it around that screw head. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do a manual focus on this so you can actually see. Okay, so what I've done, see that second coil there? Don't mind the sloppiness because we're going to pinch it together after it's all said and done. But I did a bend to get it over the top, lay over the top of that top center post. Then I wrapped it around the screw on the center post. Okay, then I'm going to pinch it together. I pinch the wire around the screw to give it a good wrap around that screw. It's this way when I tighten it, it doesn't push out. Okay. Now this atomizer is a clone made by Tobacco. Came in a cheesy little box. Nothing spectacular. It says Tobacco on it. Just a little cardboard box. Nothing to write home about. I got this atomizer on eBay for $18.98. Not bad. The price. We'll see how it works. Okay, so here we go, folks. I got the 2 screws cinched down. Okay, coil still needs adjustment. We're gonna get adjustments going as soon as I get the 3rd coil built. See, it's right there behind those air holes. Both of my coils, see, right behind the air holes. Okay. I didn't think that this atomizer would be as much of a pain in the neck to build as the W14, but had a little surprise last night when I started trying to build this. You would think it would be easier, being that you have 3 separate screws on the center post, but it wasn't. Okay, one more coil. Just make sure I got a correct number of wraps. Okay. Now this atomizer, the center post rotates, which I think they did that on purpose so you can actually rotate it to accommodate different types of builds. It's actually kind of cool, in my opinion. So if you wanted to build between the negative post and go this way for the positive, you can rotate the center pin. Okay, accordingly, you can adjust it depending on how wide your coils are going to be. Okay, so I got 3 coils in there. Now, what I'm going to do is now I can't stick my rod in there to make any adjustments. Okay, because they're right there below where the air holes are at. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to pinch these off in here and kind of tweak them a little bit. You know, get them approximately where I would like them. And then I'm going to ohm it, I'm going to burn it. Dry burn it. I just need to count over a few reps here. Let's see here. We're looking okay there. Now let's ohm it out real quick, see what she sits at before burning. 0.10, right on the money. Okay. Now I'm going to get her on a mod. I'm going to use my homemade box mod. I'm going to do a single battery right now just for burning. Remember, when you're dry burning, you always want to pulse it, especially using nichrome, because this nichrome will melt down. So here we have it. Okay, we got a pretty nice even burn. Center out. Okay, right behind the air holes. Wrap up time is short. These are 8 reps. Used 8 reps on cant ball. Wrap up time would be increased. All right, folks. Make sure my screws are tight. Okay, let's get zoomed back out, and I'm going to wick it up. Actually, I'm going to do another. Man, this son of a bitch gets hot. 1 second, we get paper towel. Man, that thing is hot. Now this Addy, you probably already know, I failed to mention, it is also able to do hybrid mode. And from my understanding, it works like well on a Hades. I haven't tried it on any other 26650s. Okay, we got 0.12. It is hot as hell. Holy smokes, I gotta let this thing cool down before I mess with it. Alright, so while I'm letting this cool down, I'm gonna get ready to wick it. It's gonna be kind of interesting to wick this thing up. Because what I want to do is I'm going to keep my cotton to a minimum so it doesn't block off any air holes, but also passing this cotton through those coils is going to be a task, being that they're sitting so low in there. Peel off a little bit of this, just a smidge. Yep. Doing vertical or horizontal coils in here kind of limits your working space for tucking your cotton. So what I did, see if I can get a good focus on there. Right below that coil, there is no cotton. Okay, I'm going to try to get as much air passing around that coil as possible. but the cotton is down there touching the bottom of the deck in order to absorb and wick up. Okay, that's number 2. Okay, so we have metal right below those coils. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I kind of thought that being that this deck is so deep, I would be able to put a ton of cotton in there, but found out that wasn't the case last night. Every time I took a hit on it, I got a mouthful of juice. Not very pleasant. It was hot juice too. So what we do have here is at the end of each coil, very end of each coil, all the cottons are connecting, touching. Okay. Now if you notice, those coils are pretty close to the triangle in the center. They have space between there. There is no shorting, no touching. You just want to be careful that you don't let those touch when in your build. Okay, so let's go ahead and test the ohms again. 1, 2, we're good. Okay, let's get this thing. When you go to unscrew this addy tut, figured out, you have to be careful because the actual hybrid connector, you take off this bottom right here. This is a hybrid ring. Okay, you take this off, you could screw this directly down on your atomizer, and then it has an adjustable 510. Okay, which is really cool. Okay, so let's put this bottom ring back on. Let's get it put onto the mod. Get her juiced up. And find my juice. Okay, today I'm going to be vaping with thick vanilla custard and steamed juice. This vanilla custard has a shot of blueberry in it. Very good stuff. Make sure that they're totally saturated. In one moment, and some more juice. They'll run down. Meanwhile, I'm letting those wicks totally saturate. Okay, this juice is an 80-20, 80% VG, 20% PG mix, 6 milligrams of nicotine. Okay, let's give it a hit while it's open. Okay, I probably overjuiced a little bit. So burn some of that out. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is the Cyclops, I'm going to keep the first 4 holes open. It's right in front of that coil. And I'm going to give her a vape. I'm going to run it in single battery mode right now. So let's come back up top. Oh, that's very nice. It's warm to hot. It's not extremely hot. It's not too cool. Now the flavor is pretty damn good actually. And I think it's because of the conical shape on the inside of the top cap. Okay. The flavor isn't bad at all actually. Okay. 4 holes open. Now if I rotate this, I can open up different holes, but I have them directly in front of those coils right now. Now that is a really nice build. Very nice build. I'm not getting any juice in my mouth. It's flavorful. It's very dense. A decent throat hit. So this atomizer does not come with a drip tip, but every drip tip that I put on here that I own fits perfectly on it. I think this one looks the best. That's why I'm going to leave it on there. Excuse me. Very nice, folks. Well, that's it for today. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to share with you. There's this cool app I had found on the Google Play Store. And this app is called the Vapor Toolbox. Okay, what is cool about this app is you put in dimensions, what type of wire are you using. Okay, it also has all the nichromes and everything. You put it in, the specifications. Okay, let me get this light out of the way here. Okay, and then you can do it. It has a wire converter or a size converter. You put in whether you're using inches to millimeters or whatnot, the size of drill bit you're going to use. It tells you right there what the decimal is. Let me put a manual zoom on this. Okay, so it shows you your decimal. Okay, so then you can go back and type your decimal in right there, and then it tells you how many reps. Okay, it's pretty accurate, but I wanted a point. I put in a 0.3, and it was telling me. Give me 1 second. It was telling me. I should do a 1918 rep per coil. Okay, I did, triple 8 rep, 7/64ths, and I got a 0.12. So anyway, this is a pretty cool app. It's free, and it shows you, all the different nichrome, canthols, and whatnot. Pretty cool app to put on your phone. But anyways, for now, that is it, folks. I appreciate your watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave comments. I appreciate it all. And if you have any questions or if you have any builds that you would like to see in here, I am willing to give it a shot. I like to tinker around. I'm still on disability for another month, so till then, everybody have a great day and vape on.